this video, you will know that I recently completed on my first ever property. No, but seriously, I'm so excited. I literally completed a couple of days ago now, so it's still super early days. But what I thought I'd do is do a quick house tour, pre-renovation. I really want to document the whole process from beginning to end, so it's only wise that I show you what it looks like now, pre any work being done. I have done a few bits and bobs, which I'll tell you about as I walk through property, but for now, let's walk through. So, I might as well start here since I'm in this room. This is the first reception room almost. So it was previously used as a dining room by the previous owners, and they had this large dining table in the middle, not much else really, but I mean it's not so bad, this room, but I'm thinking this part is paper, this is paint, this needs stripping. I need to see exactly what's underneath it, what the state of the wall is. It might need replastering, I'm not entirely sure. I want skirting boards, architraves completely gone. Just because they're ugly as well, like look at that. That hasn't been well kept at all. The actual state of it is just not cute. It's not something I can make good and like just update and touch up, so I want all of those gone. Also these vents, I mean it's a little bit broken, isn't it? I think this might have been a fireplace at some point because they've got a gas pipe here which would have been used for the fireplace, but I want all of that gone, and I'm actually thinking if it's possible to remove the chimney breast altogether. I don't really want it there, and I think if I remove it, it might create more space in the room. Also, radiators, these are so old, I want to update them entirely. So I'm thinking modern, vertical, is it vertical, horizontal? Vertical, I always get confused. Vertical radiators on the wall, which would be quite nice. Get rid of this altogether. Also the window frames need replacing altogether. I want to make sure that they're properly sealed up so that there's no like drafts getting through as well. And then I'm also thinking blinds. These curtains are so outdated, I don't want that, so I don't even want to touch it, mind. The doors, door frames need to go. Like that is just disgusting, look at that. And also the pipework, not the pipework, sorry, the wiring. I want it all so that it's hidden, because that just doesn't look very nice, does it? It's not a nice finish seeing all of that running around. So that's what I'm thinking for this room. And then I'm thinking, now bear with me, at the moment we have like an open plan situation in terms of this is what would be used as their main living room. So I'm talking sofas, TV on the wall, a couple of shelves, but in my mind it would be better if I blocked this off entirely so that it's two separate rooms. So we've got the dining here and the living area here. Here, I'm thinking to put a wall, what am I saying, a door. I think there was previously a door here before because this is hollow, and if you move further down, it's solid. So it should be fairly easy to kind of knock through this, create a door, so that you've got an entrance to come into the living room, and then this is blocked off with a stud wall, which should be fairly easy, I'd say, she says. Same thing in here though. Architrave, skirting boards gone. I want the floor as well redone. So it's laminate flooring, it's not the worst, but I really want to see what the floorboards are like underneath. If they're very nice and I can work with them, but I'm thinking more just nicer laminate flooring. I'm thinking darker wood or something of that kind, but I haven't actually gone into detail in terms of like colour schemes and what I want, so bear with me on that one. And then here we have fireplace, which I absolutely hate, so it needs to go. So if you know me, you know that I like a really old house, quite a rustic house with a bit of character. But with this house, it's only a 1930s house, So I don't really care about knocking the chimney breast through and getting rid of some of the character. Whereas if it was a Victorian property, I'd probably want to keep all of those features because I think it's what makes the property. Also, if I'm actually dividing the room and making it 2 separate rooms, I think removing things like the chimney breast will create so much more space for the individual rooms, which is what I really want. And then we've got this radiator here. I might keep a radiator down here, but it absolutely needs redoing. I mean, look at that behind. I don't know if you can see that. That looks disgusting. Is that paper? I'm not sure. It's like paper or, I don't know, the wall paint coming off. It looks disgusting. Again, pipe work, I want it absolutely hidden. I just think it doesn't look very nice when it's on show. That's not cute whatsoever. I can just imagine a sofa there, TV on the wall, a couple storage spaces, shelves. I think I can make good with this room. So next we're going to go into the garden. So this is the garden in its current state. I'm not going to lie, when I came for the viewing some months ago, the grass was completely mowed. It was actually in a really good condition, and the way that the seller has left it is an absolute state, if I'm completely honest. It's completely overgrown. The least they could do actually was just mow the lawn, but whatever. The fence at the back was always broken, so I'm going to have to patch that up, make sure it looks really nice and seamless, and then I'm thinking to paint all of the fences going round. I haven't decided what colour yet. Someone mentioned white, which I'm not keen on because I just feel like that's going to get so dirty, especially with all my barbecues and wine spilled everywhere. And then I'm also thinking actually astroturf it so that my neighbour's music. AstroTurf it so that it's like really low maintenance. I can't see myself coming out here and mowing all the time. I don't know how frequently, but that's just not me. I want something super low maintenance. I had to get out of there pretty quickly because my neighbour's playing music. She's got really good taste in music, but then I don't want to get penalised for having like background music that I obviously don't have a licence for. So if you follow me into the hallway, so this is the hallway area, really small, and you come straight into my dinky little kitchen. It's tiny. This is what they call a galley kitchen, and I mean everything needs gutting. I'm not going to keep one thing, like I need everything stripped. There's holes in places I don't even know. There's leaks, there's holes. You can't make good in this situation. I mean, look at the state of the drawer. Look at that, like who can put even cutlery in there? That's so disgusting. It sickens me because there was an actual family living in this property before, which is wild, but all of that needs stripping. I'm thinking combi boiler. This boiler is about 15 years old, so there's no way in hell I can keep that. And then actually, look at this. So underneath the actual sink, you obviously have your usual sink pipe work. So my cleaner actually quickly pops this in because the seller left it without a cap. So whenever you turn on the water from the top, water starts gushing out this way and then causing a little flood like situation here, which is probably why it literally reeks down here. Like it stinks so bad because there's damp problems probably, which is probably being affected as well outside in the brickwork. But they definitely intentionally did that, my seller by the way, because she didn't like me, clearly. So she spitefully decided to take off the cap on the pipes. That's great, more work for me. But either way, this whole situation is being gutted. And one of the other things actually that I was thinking of doing, and I'm not entirely sure just yet, is knocking down this wall entirely so that it leads into that main living space, and then that would create a kitchen, dining / living open plan situation, which is quite helpful because sometimes when you've got like a small house and then you've got walls separating each of the different rooms, it makes the house seem a little bit smaller, a little bit more closed and dark, whereas if it's opened up it can become a lot more like bright and airy. And then I'm thinking really nice light colours in terms of the worktop and the cupboards and everything to again lift it a little bit and make it seem a lot more brighter. So that's pretty much it for the kitchen. And then here we have under the stairs. So again, I've got 2 options for this area. Either I create a little toilet, I've seen this done before actually, just a little seat and toilet and a sink there so that I've got 2 toilets in the house because currently I've only got 1. Or what I could do is just block this off, this understairs area, obviously cut off the worktop at some point, and then have lovely storage coming out. I've seen it all over TikTok actually, where you've got different drawers popping out and they soft close as well. It just looks so nice. I quite like that, and it will just give me more like storage room because I do have a lot of stuff. Look at the state of this. This is holding up the stairs and it's covered in tape. It actually worries me that, you know, when I take off the tape it's just going to collapse, so that needs doing as well as part of that big job. But I think that would be quite nice actually, and like such a nice touch, a modern touch as well, having them all like stick out. So I'm not sure, toilet or understairs storage. We have a little cupboard at the front of the house. You know, I can use it for like basic storage, maybe stick the Hoover and stuff in there. They also actually have one of them electric meters that you have to top up, which I've never used before. I don't know if I like the idea of that, having to top up and then running out of electricity, and then what will I do when I'm like straightening my hair or something? Have to pop to the shop with my hair half done. Anyway, so if we come up the stairs, now one thing about my camera is so nice and like it's pleasant for people because it gives like a nice airbrush filter. However, I don't think it's actually doing the state of the house justice, because this wall is absolutely disgusting. It's so shoddy. It's not seamless at all. There's, you know, I mean, look at that. So I'm going to have to, again, plaster the whole situation, skim it down, make sure it's all level and seamless, and then I'll paint over it. Previously, actually, there were carpet running all the way up the stairs, and literally like a couple of days ago, I stripped the whole thing, so the carpet and the underlay. But honestly, you haven't missed much because the state of it before anyway was pretty much the same. But some of these floorboards are creaky. Look, I could probably play a song. So I'm hoping that I just have to replace a couple of the floorboards as opposed to the whole situation, because that would be an absolute nightmare. But we'd have to take off the floorboards to see what the situation is underneath it. So now we have my dinky little bathroom. And in here we literally just have your basic bathroom essentials. You've got your toilet, your sink and your bath. Now again, I've got a couple of options in here as well. I'm either going to keep the bath, the sink, the toilet and just try and restructure it somehow, or I've seen another house, same size bathroom, and what they did is they had a standing shower. They got rid of the bath completely, and then they had a lovely like corner sink, and then the toilet was somewhere as well, and they even had room for a little cupboard actually with a mirror. So I'm gonna have to weigh up my options and see what I can do with the room. I mean, this has got to go. I don't want any shower curtains. I want a nice glass panel, which is quite nice and modern. Again, windowsill frame needs doing. What I do like about here actually is this indent in the wall. I'm thinking it could be used for like, of course, you probably use your different like shower gels and you put them all on there. I'm not entirely sure, so I'm gonna have to keep you updated on that one, but it's such a small room, there's not much to say about it. So next we come into the second bedroom. As you can see, my mum's been hard away at work already, bless her. She's already stripped a couple of the walls, which is really good actually, because I could see the state of the wall underneath, because I was really scared about what the walls would look like. I didn't know how bad they would be. So I think again, plaster the whole situation, skim it down, paint, paper, whatever. I think I'm gonna go for paint. I don't really like paper. Again, these, like, things like this, we're gonna make a little bit more seamless so that like it's more in the wall and it doesn't stick out as much. That's really old school actually, having that. We've also stripped the carpet in here as well, which was a good idea. I think the floorboards in here are a lot better than on the landing. So I'm thinking laminate flooring in here, super easy, low maintenance to clean. I mean, this scared me as well actually. I'm really scared to see what's behind this wall. Look at that, that looks so disgusting. I'll start peeling it. Oh! I mean, look at that. So yeah, that all needs doing. And then, in terms of radiators, I'm thinking this probably just needs updating. Nice modern one, new window frames. Don't know what that shit is in the corner. Hopefully it's nothing. I think they had a condensation problem. I should probably wear gloves. I think they had a condensation problem because there's a lot of, I don't know, like moist. And then I'm thinking here, get rid of the chimney breast again, just like downstairs. open up the room a little bit more, make it a little bit bigger. It won't interfere also with, like, if you've got a double bed, I won't have to have it in a particular way. So that would be quite nice. To do so though, again, they would have to put up different beams to hold the structure of the property, because I don't want anything collapsing now. But yeah, it would be good to open that up. There's not much to really say about this room. I'm just thinking to paint it, decorate it, modify it, a couple of blinds, make sure the venting system's okay, and we're good to go. Yeah? Yeah. And then finally, the main bedroom, which is going to be my humble abode. I mean, you can already see paper all over the floor, because we've already started on this room. We literally started stripping the paper the other day. In fact, actually, this wall in particular was a pain in the bottom, because it had paper on top of paper on top of paper, so many layers of paper. So it looks like when they were redecorating, they didn't actually strip paper and then put new paper on. They were just like, oh, okay, I want a white paper, I want a red paper, I want a yellow paper. And there were so many layers to get through and paste, but we got there in the end. So that's the state of the wall. And then also, I think there's some damp coming in from the front as well. So I'm gonna have to sort that out. Can I just say, actually, although this isn't a proper before, in terms of the fact that we've already started some of the work in this room, if you saw the before, it wasn't much different than this. In fact, this probably looks better than the before, which is just mind-blowing. In this corner over here, we had 2 inbuilt wardrobes, which were an absolute state. So I don't know why they left them. I wouldn't have wanted to keep them. So they were wooden wardrobes, like almost floor to ceiling, but they had, look, mould at the back. There was dust everywhere. I mean, I wouldn't be able to put any clothes in there. All this will need sorting. There's holes in there also from the inbuilt wardrobes. So they need filling, plastering, skimming, all of that good stuff. So what I'm thinking is maybe inbuilt wardrobes on this side again, but once I patched up everything, they're going to have to actually go into the loft to find out what's causing that, because it could potentially be a leak. Not entirely sure, but we need to get to the bottom of that before obviously decorating. But I'm thinking maybe inbuilt wardrobes on this side, super seamless, tidy, presentable, you know, and then I'll paint the whole thing. And then over here, actually, I mean, we have these wooden doors in all of the different rooms, but I don't know whether to paint them or to just get like completely new ones, because all the door frames need doing anyway, so it might be easier to just get completely new ones. And then we have this cupboard, if I can open it. Why can't I open it? Oh, there we go. It needs a door handle, clearly. So we have this cupboard space which runs above the stairs, and it is actually really deep. Like, I can fit my whole arm in, which is pretty cool. So I'm thinking, I don't know whether to keep it. That's option 1, to keep like this space. I mean, I need to tidy it up obviously and make sure it's a lot more presentable. Keep this space for storage, maybe even keep a little clothes roll in there, I don't know. Or what I've seen in another house is they've used this entire space here as a little ensuite situation. So you usually have like a door coming into that ensuite from here. You go into it, you have the shower in the corner, you have a sink and a toilet, which I think would be really nice. I know my bathroom's only over there, but I feel like having a little ensuite, I mean, who doesn't want an ensuite? So that's option number 2, but it's easier said than done, because when you've got things like bathroom, showers and toilets, you need particular pipe work running through the property, and my wastewater and stuff like that runs through the back of the house, and this is obviously the front of the house. So I'm not sure if it's entirely feasible just yet, but I mean, I'm still going to try and get quotes for it and see if it's an option, because honestly, like, that's my ideal, that's my goal. Okay, so here we have the window sill, the window frame. I mean, there must have been a draft situation, because it looks like they've just put some foil there to keep the draft out, which is ridiculous, instead of actually fixing it. So I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing, make sure it's sealed up properly so that there's no draft coming in whatsoever. And again, I'll probably keep I won't keep the radiators, but I'll keep where it is, because there's no need in changing all of it. And then the ceiling, I think, is called Artex, which is so old school and absolutely needs replacing altogether. So I'm probably going to strip that completely and then just paint it white, off-white, cream, kind of Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I completely don't know for sure what I want. I've got a few options running in my head. I just have to see what's feasible and what's not. Okay, so that brings me to the end of my house tour. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've loved walking you through my thoughts and what I think I'm going to do with it. I really wanted to get you in here pre-renovation because there's tons of work that's going to be done. I'm going to be documenting the whole thing from beginning to end, and I'm going to get as much footage as possible. So definitely subscribe if you want to see more of that. And oh my god, I cannot wait to see the finished product. I just feel like once it's all done and it's all me, I'm going to feel so like proud and settled. Listen, I'm not even going to lie to you. When I first came in here, I literally thought, what the F? What have I done? This is such a big job. But now I'm like in here, it's been a couple of days since then. I've kind of got a better idea and scope of what I can do and what I want to do. I feel like it's all exciting again, and I literally just can't wait for the work to start. And oh yeah, can't wait to see the finished product. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But until then, we have a house to renovate. I mean, how amazing. That's enough of me being excited. Love you all, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye.